Sinead O'Connor is here today. Why are you so controversial, do you think? Because you don't do a lot of controversial stuff, but then people always say, oh, Sinead O'Connor, she's controversial. And I always say, well, I've never found her controversial. She's always lovely with me. Are you trouble?
Well, I suppose it's because of stances I've taken as an artist and being a bit of a wild one, but not when it comes to, I'm not a drinker or a drug taker or anything, but I'm a bit of a wild one occasionally.
What's been the best and the worst stuff that you've done in your view, in your career?
All I can say, I rehearse answers in my mind, but I can never quite come up with it. Because look, I'm 46 years of age. A lot of this stuff went on years and years ago, and I'm not ashamed of anything. I'm proud of everything I am, including all the ugly bits, warts and all.
But that having been said, I think, Sinead, one of the reasons I like you is because you're what I would call attitudinal, and you're true to yourself. However you're feeling, whatever you're feeling, you're out there and you're doing it and you're saying it, and that's surely a good thing, I guess.
Well, I saw a fantastic interview with Brian May, actually, and he really nailed it. I just thought it was a great way of nailing it. He was talking about rock and roll. It was in the history of rock and roll. He was saying how, the irony is that you get into it because you want to be a rebel, you want some control over your own life. But then what happens is you have no control over your life because everyone wants a piece of you. The more successful you are as an artist, everyone wants a piece of you. And I think he's right. Something has changed in music. It was that we were all rebels. That's why we wanted to get in. We didn't want to cause trouble. It's just that we weren't criminal enough for jail, nor could we function in regular jobs. So that's why they created the music business.
For dysfunctional people.
Well, for people who had something useful to contribute to society, but not through a 9-to-5, and who were kind of bats, but not quite enough for the nut house, who weren't dangerous enough for jail either, but we wanted to contribute something. But it's an arena that was created, I believe, for people who are good-hearted people, but are artistic people, basically. So then, it's a bit weird. What happened somewhere after the 70s, I think something took over that tried to almost control artists. So now...
it became corporate, didn't it?
I was a victim of that in a lot of ways, because I was just being me, as you say.
And you rebelled against that, of course.
Well, I was only being me. I didn't even realise I was a rebel as such, but I did rebel against the idea of this pop star thing if it meant that suddenly one's job governed entirely one's personality and everything. You had to watch every step you took in life because you might not sell records.
So we just heard Fourth and Vine, the single, and that's actually quite jolly.
You sound surprised.
Well, no, it's really kind of almost, and you'll hate this, almost made to be played on the radio.
I know. Well, no, I really like it to be played on the radio, quite frankly. It's like Brian May wouldn't want his records not played on the radio. We all want to get played on the radio. That's what we do. But
the album is very interesting. We like, not particularly radio tourable, is the Queen of Denmark. I didn't quite understand that song. There's a little bit of bucket mouthing in there, which is quite funny, and it looks like you've written it to not scan. Was that deliberate?
I'm going to give you the same answer that I had to give a man that I was going out with when he heard that song. Believe it or not, he had to go to the therapist with it. And I'm going to give you the same answer, which will shock you as much as it shocked him. I didn't write that song.
Oh, really?
It was written by John Grant. Do you know John Grant?
I know the name, yeah.
He's an incredible artist and one of my best friends in life. He's a fantastic artist, and it's the title track of his first solo album. He sang with a band called, I think it was Desires. He always kills me when I get this wrong.
But do we know what it all means, Sinead?
Well, see, to me it means something different. If you ask John, he'd tell you it's a relationship breakup song.
Oh, okay.
In my mind, I like it because it's like a conversation I'm having with myself. We all have this thing inside us, a part of us criticise ourselves and the other part doesn't, and it's like a conversation with yourself.
I wanted to change the world, but I could not even change my underwear. And when the shit got really, really out of hand, I had it all the way up to my hairline, which keeps receding like my self-confidence, as if I ever had any of that stuff anyway. I hope I didn't destroy your celebration, or your bat mitzvah birthday party, or your Christmas. You put me in this cage and threw away the key. It was this us and them shit that did me in. You tell me that my life is based upon a lie. I casually mentioned that I pissed in your coffee. I hope you know that all I want from you is sex, to be with someone who looks smashing in athletic wear. And if your haircut isn't right, you'll be dismissed. You'll get your walking papers papers and you can leave now. I don't know what to want from this world. I really don't know what to want from this world. And I don't know what it is you want from me. You really have no right to want anything from me at all. Why don't you take it out on somebody else? Why don't you bore the shit out of somebody else? Why don't you tell somebody else that they're selfish? A weakling, coward, a pathetic fraud. Who's gonna be the one to save me from myself? You better bring your stun gun and perhaps a crowbar. You better pack a lunch and get up really early. And you should probably get down on your knees and pray. It's really fun to look embarrassed all the time, like you could never cut the mustard with the big boys. I really don't know who the fuck you think you are. Could I please see your license and your registration? I don't know what to want from this world. I really don't know what to want from this world. I don't know what it is you want from me. You really have no right to want anything from me at all. Why don't you take it out on somebody else? Why don't you bore the shit out of somebody else? Why don't you tell somebody else that they're selfish? A weakling, coward, a pathetic fraud. So Jesus isn't coming here to pick you up. You'll still be sitting right here 10 years from now. You're just a sucker, but we'll see who gets the last laugh. Who knows, maybe you'll get to be the next Queen of Denmark.
To change the world, but I could not even change my underwear. When the shit got really, really out of hand, had it all the way up to my hairline, which keeps receding like my self-confidence, as if I ever had any of that stuff anyway. I hope I didn't destroy your celebration, or your bat mitzvah, birthday party, or your Christmas. You put me in this cage and threw away the key. It was this us and that shit that did me in. You tell me that my life is based upon a lie. I casually mentioned that I pissed in your coffee. I hope you know that all I want from you is sex. To be with someone who looks smashing in athletic wear. And if your haircut isn't right, you'll be dismissed. You get your walking papers and you can leave now. I don't know what to want from this world. I really don't know what to want from this world. Don't know what it is you want from me. You really have no right to want anything from me at all. Why don't you take it out on somebody else? Just a sucker, but we'll see who gets the last laugh. Who knows?